I want to share something honestly, not polished, not perfect, but healed enough to tell the truth. So I pray that whoever this video comes across, that it helps to free you the way that it freed me. So for a long time, I saw myself as the woman who failed at marriage. Divorced twice and married for a third time. And that carries memories and consequences and questions that just don't disappear because time passed. And if I'm being honest, each time God takes me to another level of healing, there's a grief that takes place before I step into the full transformation, the full revelation, the full essence of who I'm becoming for that season, in that season. I remember hearing about the story of the woman at the well. I never fully understood it, but recently, this is what the Holy Spirit has dropped on me to study. So in John chapter 4, you meet a woman at the well with a relationship history, much like many of us. I have seen myself in this story for the first time. And this woman is much like many of us, but I'll just say me. A woman searching for love. She's searching for stability. She's looking for her identity. And she's trying to find who she is. She wants to be whole. But internally, she doesn't realize how broken she really is. And so what we see in John chapter 4 is that Jesus exposes her, but he didn't expose her to shame her or to guilt her, much like the world would do. He did it so that she could be set free. And some of the things that we don't want to be accountable for, some of the things that we want to forget, some of the things that we would much rather pretend never happened, Jesus will expose it to help heal you, to help free you. And that's what he did to me. And honestly, that exposure didn't feel like freedom, not at first. It felt very heavy. I felt convicted. It felt like grief. I started to grieve the woman that I was, the woman that was making, let me take that back, the girl that was making permanent decisions based off of a temporary lack of understanding. I started to grieve the pain I caused. I grieve what was broken off because of immaturity. I grieve the families that could have been, the stability my children deserved, and the opportunities that my lack of wisdom could have sustained at that time. So there are moments I still sit with the weight of knowing that some endings didn't have to happen the way that they did. But here's what I've learned. Conviction is not God condemning you. It's God actually waking you up. I didn't make decisions because I was evil. I made decisions because I lacked understanding of myself, of love, of influence, of who God called me and made me to be as a woman. And so I moved from relationship to relationship, trying to fix something I had no language for. And I was looking for love and identity in places that required me to already be whole. And like the woman point at the well, once the truth met me, I could not unsee it. I had no choice but to heal at that very moment. And that heaviness, that grief that I was feeling, that I was starting to lean into, became clarity. And if you read the chapter for yourself, you'll see that her story did not end with the exposure, and neither does mine. Yours doesn't have to end that way either. She became a messenger, and that is why I am sharing this story. Not to relive my shame, and not even to dishonor anyone in my past. The mistakes I made in ignorance, they don't have to be repeated by anyone that has an ear to listen or hear what it is that I am saying. But hear my heart when I say this. You do not have to make the same mistakes that some of us have made in ignorance and in a lack of wisdom. You don't have to rush love because it feels right in the moment. You don't have to hurry and get married when you haven't properly vetted or spoke to God about your decision. You don't have to build covenant while still trying to identify and figure out who you are. You don't have to carry the weight of choices that wisdom could have prevented. I learned that women carry such a powerful influence, but I learned it the hard way, and along the way, I've hurt people, I've hurt my family, I've hurt myself. And so we can mismanage the things that God entrusted with us if we don't learn how to properly steward it well. Look, healing changes that. Healing is a powerful thing. So I'm not speaking to you as a woman without a past. I'm speaking to you as a woman that has been redeemed by the truth. Yes, there are consequences. There were lessons I learned the hard way. There are so many things that I wish. There are so many things I wish I understood sooner. But God doesn't waste anything. All things work together. He doesn't waste it. And I pray that this story that made me once feel disqualified helps someone. So if you feel like you're standing at your own well, tired, searching, repeating cycles that you don't fully understand, I pray that my story is a sign that brings awareness and that can actually help someone. But you are not beyond redemption, and wisdom is definitely available before regrets, so that maybe you won't have to thirst the same way that I did.